All right, let's go ahead and get started, guys. My name is Emmanuel, and I would like to welcome you to RIZN. So first off, I want to go ahead and talk to the new agents or the agents who are struggling right now to sell insurance. Insurance is just one of the products that you can use RIZN to sell. But before we go ahead and get started, right, first thing first, I want to go ahead and ask you this one question. Why did you choose to start the business that you're in? Why did you choose to get into the business that you're in right now? I want you to ask yourself that question. Did you get into business because somebody told you could make a lot of money? Did you get into business because you saw a friend of yours making a lot of money? Or did you actually get into business because you actually wanted to build a life for yourself and your family? Ask yourself that one question, because if you are 100% just in it for the money, then I think you should go watch another video, because I don't think you're going to make it in this industry. Okay. And the reason why I want to comment on this is because the insurance industry has a high washout rate, a very high washout rate. Actually, business in general has a very high washout rate, because a lot of people cannot maintain the consistency required to go ahead and exceed in business, right? Like, you don't see results for your first 6 months. Why would you stay in business, right? You're late on bills. Why would you stay in business, right? If you don't really enjoy the fact that business is a game, then I think you should go get a job. Legit. All right. Now, I want to go ahead right now and talk about how to sell insurance. Okay, how to sell insurance. So first, we're going to cover a few things. I can't cover everything within the scope of this video, but the most important thing I want to cover is this 5 core steps right now. Okay, the step 1 is generating the lead. Okay, you cannot sell any product, business credit, credit repair, whatever it may be, without having somebody to sell to. Because you have to understand something. Money does not grow on trees. Money grows in people's pockets. If you want to make more money, if you want to sell more products, if you want to sell more policies, you have to have somebody to exchange with. Money, by product, basically, it's an exchange of value. You provide value, and then they provide value to you. That's monitored, right? Okay, so now let's think about lead generation, right? Generating the lead. I'm going to cover generating the lead. I'm going to cover setting the appointment. I'm going to cover meeting with the family. Cover sealing the deal and maintaining a relationship, right? I want you to think about it as dating. We're basically going to go through the whole dating process of selling insurance, okay? So stay tuned for this video. And I'm pretty sure by the end of the video, you're going to go ahead and you're going to get the most value you've probably had in the insurance industry. If you're an insurance agent watching this. If you're in any business watching this, trust me, you are definitely going to get the most value. But if it's your first time, like the video, subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel. Okay, guys, subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. All right, now, what I want to do right now is I want to go ahead and talk about generating the lead. Okay, so there's multiple ways you can generate the leads, but I'm going to cover the 4 core ones that I have found most agencies use. One is you purchase leads from lead vendors. This is pretty good, but the problem with this is you and every other agent in your agency is probably doing the same thing, right? And if you're all purchasing from the same lead vendor or purchasing the same type of leads, which is going to be a video that I cover regarding lead types in the channel, I recommend you go check that. But when it comes to leads and lead vendors, you have to understand something is the lead vendor is the one that makes the most money, not the agent in the most part, right? So when it comes to generating leads, you have to understand, when it comes to purchasing leads, you have to understand that you are not the only one purchased from this lead vendor. And this person that you're buying their information, right, is not filling out one form. You're not the only person they're going to talk to. You're not the only one to request information from. Like, for instance, even when I hire people, I give the job to about 5 to 6 people to see who's the best of them all. And whoever is the best of them all, whoever wins is the one that gets the job. That's pretty much how I do things. So you must understand that whoever it is that you lead, you're not the only one that's going after them, right? So purchasing leads from lead vendors, it's a way in which you can go. You can go ahead and purchase leads from lead vendors. There are a bunch of lead vendors out there. The second one is generating your own leads. This is by far my favorite. It's by far my favorite because I have left the insurance industry, and I can still sell insurance, and I've still sold insurance online, right? But I have the skill set now that I can grow in any business. Inside of RIZN, we have various businesses in there. We have, people doing credit repair. We have basically primary healthcare. We have health insurance agents. We have life insurance agents. We have coaches. We have a variety of business because marketing is all the same. It's just a different audience, right? We're all marketing the same. It's just a different audience, right? Now, the reason why I highly recommend you go ahead and you learn how to generate your own leads is it makes you irreplaceable. Because here's the thing is, any Joe Schmo with money can go purchase leads from a lead vendor. Anybody can go to a lead vendor and spend $500 and $1,000 and purchase leads. And you also have to understand something is, Most leads are non-refundable, which means if you spent $1,000 and you don't make your money, you just lost 1,000. Versus when you generate your own leads, even if you lost 1,000, you still learned something from it. It's the avenue of the fact that you acquired a new skill set as opposed to just giving somebody your money. Highly recommend you go check out generate your own leads. And if you need a tool, the number one all-in tool for insurance agents, you want to go ahead and check out RIZN Results, RIZN Results.com/free trial and get your 14-day free trial. Okay. Now, another method you can use is you can use referrals or cross sells. Referrals are basically when you get somebody else, or either your existing clients or somebody you know, to leverage their reputation by getting a friend of theirs or, family to buy from you, right? I personally, referrals, I did a video on referrals, and referrals are pretty good. But the thing is, it's not scalable as far as volume goes, especially as a new agent. If you're going to rely strictly on referrals, then you're putting your business in the hands of somebody else, right? Which means if, let's say whoever's referring to you, if they don't know that many people, they can't really refer that many people to you. So it's very important to understand that if you're going to use referrals, that you have to understand that it's not necessarily scalable, but it's sustainable, but it's not scalable. Okay. And it's really, for the most part, it varies. You're going to have high months of referrals and low months of referrals. It all just depends. That's why I still recommend you learn how to generate your own leads. Then you can sell to friends and family. This is pretty good because they already know you. So you're not really leveraging anybody else's reputation. You're leveraging your own reputation. You can do that. The only downside to that is most people aren't comfortable selling to your friends. If you're comfortable with it, do it. Most people might feel awkward buying from you. It doesn't matter. Okay. My whole thing is if they love me so much, then they should go ahead and they should be willing to buy my product, because the reality is I feel good about it. And I'm sure they're going to feel good about it. And I'm sure they're going to get the most value from it. So you can try that method as far as sending to friends and family. Send the appointment. Okay. Now, it's very important to understand if you are going to go into sell anything, you actually have to set the time. Think about it this way. When you start dating, this is for the guys out there, right? Let's say you start dating, girls, whatever it is, whatever you do. When you meet somebody, let's say you meet someone, you just meet at a mall, you meet at wherever it is that you meet people, you don't initially go and say, hey, you know what, let's get to know each other right now. Yes, it might happen on the spot, okay, but it's not necessarily the case because everybody has something that they're doing, right? So you don't want to go ahead and infringe on that person's life. Let's say somebody just filled out a lead form and just became a lead. The last thing you want to do is go, oh, you know what, let's go buy now. You can do that. There's people that are willing and hot and ready to buy on the spot. The majority of the time, what you have to do is, sorry guys, I'm all over the place, so hence, cold, warm weather. But majority of the time, a lot of people need to be in the frame of mind where, okay, let's go ahead and have this discussion, right? So you can sell on the spot. I can guarantee you can sell on the spot. But a lot of times you actually have to set an appointment, right? Especially if that individual you're talking to is not a decision maker, right? So to do that, let's say you generate a huge batch of leads, or you purchase, 50, 60, 70 leads. If you're going to purchase anything less than 50 leads, dial them yourself. If you're working anything less than 50 leads, dial it yourself. If you're going over the 50 to 100 on a, every 2 days basis, then I highly recommend you go ahead and, get a virtual assistant. Okay. Get a virtual assistant to go ahead and work your leads for you. Get a virtual assistant, because the reality is you have to start thinking like a business, which means every business employs leverage. Every business employs leverage. So you have to be willing to use leverage. Okay. So I highly recommend you get a virtual assistant to go ahead and call your leads and set those appointments for you. All right. Now, the next thing is the meeting. Now you set up the day of the appointment, right? And let's say you spoke with Martha, right? And her husband. Martha is married to Mark, right? We're using generic names here. So Martha is married to Mark, right? In this situation, Martha needed her husband there to basically go ahead and, rub ideas, or basically go ahead and share information. Say, okay, hey, Mark, Mark, what do you think we should do? What do you think you should do? Martha says this. You have to understand something. Now you're in a family dynamic where it's not just you. It's not just, that person that filled the lead form out. Now you're with your family. So the first you want to do is, it's very important to understand that when you are meeting with a group or a family or whatever sales presentation, you need to first clarify, why are you talking? Why are you here? Why are we having this conversation? Very important. It is very important to understand, why are we here? Why are we having this discussion? Because if you don't clarify why you're having that discussion, it's only a matter of time before they tell you at the end of it. We have to think about it. We have to discuss it amongst each other, right? Which you have to understand something, understand the common objections going in. People are going to tell you, we have to talk about it. We have to think about it. And then my common rebuttals did, listen, I don't expect you guys once I walk away to start thinking, what do you think about Emmanuel's offer? What do you think about this? I don't expect that. The truth is, once I walk away, something's going to happen. You're going to get a text. Life is going to go on. And if you don't do this now, you're probably not going to do this at all. Okay. And the reality is this is if they're still telling you got to think about it, then just remove any obstacles, right, from your decision making. Say, hey, listen, how about we do this? How about we give you a 30-day period to think about it, but let's go ahead and put the application through and see if you qualify. That's it. Once you qualify, you be drafted. That activates coverage. So if you pass away while you're thinking about it, that's perfectly fine. He still gets the money. She still gets the money. But let's go ahead and put something in place. And if you don't like it within 30 days, just let me know. I'll come back in and remove the policy, replace it. Okay. I'll come back in and replace it. Okay. I'll come back in and replace the policy. All right. It's common in insurance for people to say cancel it. You have to understand you get paid very high commissions, especially if you're getting advanced, the 9-month premium. If you say cancel it, that's a lot of money. So I'll just say the word replace it, right? But people will move forward with that when you remove the risk, okay? Highly remove the risk, offer guarantees. But if it's a low ticket, if it's a low sale, it's not a lot of money, you can offer a guarantee of I'll cancel it. But if you're selling like $300, $400 a month and you tell them within 30 days, you think about it, we'll cancel it, that's almost a $5,000 commission. The last thing you want to do with a $5,000 commission is say cancel it because now you owe the money back to the insurance company, okay? And if you don't understand what I mean, go look up insurance chargebacks. Go look up chargebacks in insurance. All right. That's probably going to do you the most value when you understand that there is a lot of chargebacks in insurance agency, in insurance business. Now, clarify with them, why am I here? Then clarify, who is this for? Who is this for? Okay. Who is this policy going to be for? Okay. What's the main purpose? What is it supposed to serve? You need to find pain points because people do not buy unless the value exceeds the money, okay? But not even just value. The pain of not having your product exceeds. Think about it in a sense as to imagine you went to the hospital, right? And you're dying. Well, let's say you're in pain, right? You're in serious pain. You went to the doctor. And all you had in your pocket was $1,000. And the doctor said, all right, you're in so much pain. This pain is going to continue for the next couple of days. I can make it all go away right now for $1,000 that you have in your pocket. You can either give me the 1,000 and the pain goes away, or you can keep the 1,000 and keep the pain. What are you going to do? You will give that doctor that $1,000. That's the same thing in sales. Is people need to understand that it needs to even hurt them to keep the money. You need to associate pain with them keeping the money. Like them keeping the money should hurt them. I know it sounds bad. I know there's a lot of people that are going to come in the comments and say, a lot of people are going to come in the comments and say, oh, that shouldn't how it be. That's not sales. I'm going to tell you something, dude. If people don't feel pain, they don't make moves. Okay? So you need to understand what is the pain that you're there to solve. Okay? Who is this for? Who's going to suffer the most if this insurance is not put in place? Okay? Very important you cover that. The next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and set the expectation. It's very important that you go ahead and you set the expectations. Okay? Set the expectations of what you're going to do. Let's put that away. What you're going to do. What is the step-by-step? No surprises. No surprises. If you're going to apply, tell them, hey, listen, at the end of today, we will go ahead and we're not making a decision today. Very important. In your expectations, take away. We are not making a decision today, guys. All we're doing today is going ahead to get a decision from the insurance company. So we will apply to see if you qualify. For that, I'm going to ask for your social. For that, I'm going to ask for your bank account. Okay. We're going to go ahead and move forward with seeing if you qualify. That's all we're doing today. Oh, I'm not taking any payment. We're just inputting payment information. It's very important to understand when people feel no pressure, they go ahead and move. It has to flow. Conversation has to flow. So you have to set expectations and go ahead and qualify them. Okay, qualify them. Make sure that they're an ideal prospect. Make sure that they can actually afford whatever it is that you're recommending to them. Qualification can be health and finances. Qualify them. And then after that, go ahead and handle objections. Handling objections is a simple part of, listen, if they don't give you objections, give them objections. If they don't give you, let me tell you something. The sale where no one gave me objections was the sale in which they ended up canceling. If they're like, any questions? No. I'm like, okay, listen. So you guys are probably, once I leave, are going to be like, man, this is too expensive. And I don't know how we're going to be able to make this month's payment. Okay. But first, let's go ahead and qualify. Why? Well, let me go ahead and ask you this question. Why are you guys getting this in the first place? I'm getting this because I know if I'm not here, my wife is going to suffer. I know if I'm not here, my husband's going to have to do this and he's going to be stuck with a mortgage. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Now, at the end of the day is bring up the common objections. Bring up the objections. The reason is most people don't object to you because they're afraid of confrontation. But once you leave, they'll go ahead and cancel. Bring up the objections. They're thinking about it. If you're thinking about it, they're thinking about it. One of the things is I learned this from GC. I was asked at the end of every sale is, how are you able to justify paying $300 a month? I want them to tell me, because the truth is, if you don't tell them once they leave, they will cancel. It's almost automatic. I always make sure I get common objections. Either they give me objections or I give them objections. But I'm not leaving there without handling 3 objections. Without handling 3 objections, and trust me, every time I've done that, all my sales locked in. Okay? And then you go ahead and close the deal. Close the deal. Just go ahead and put the application through. If they qualify, move on. If they don't qualify, find them a guaranteed coverage. It's very easy. It's very simple. Okay? Next thing is what you have to understand is, so now let's go ahead and close it up. I want to go ahead and close it up right now with sealing the deal. So sealing the deal is not necessarily that day of the appointment that you closed it. You close the application, you got the order, you wrote the order, and everything's moving forward. You take 30 days to seal the deal. It takes 30 days to seal the deal. What does that mean? Every week, just call them. Hey, what's going on? Okay. If you haven't gotten a decision, to say, hey, listen, we're still waiting on a decision. Just wanted to check up on you guys. The insurance company hasn't approved this yet. So I'm still calling to check up. Make sure you guys are okay. Everything good? Awesome. Good. Call them next week. Hey, listen, how's everything? You may think you're doing too much, but it is not hurting you. Most insurance, it doesn't matter. Even if they got approved on the spot, still call them. Hey, how's it going? How does it feel that you have your policy? You may think that you're doing too much, but you have to understand something. You are building a relationship. And then you have to maintain it. Once a month, every month, hit your customers up and say, hey, listen, Happy New Month. Send them a mail. Send them a letter. Send them an email. Send them a text. Happy New Month. Just letting you know your premium is going to draft this month. Okay. If you have any questions, hit me up. Next month, hey, Happy New Month. I know you had the dog. How's your dog going? You have to understand, you maintain that relationship, because guess what? You may not think about it, but maybe down the line, you have to understand. I want you guys to think about this. I'm going to give you guys a little technique from something called the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is a system that operates basically based off of what you think about the most, right? You ever thought about this, right? The car that you drive, before you bought that car, you barely ever saw that car on the road. Okay, like for instance, I drive a white Honda, right? Before I bought the Honda, I never saw the Honda on the road. Never. But now I see it everywhere. Everywhere. Now, was it that the Honda wasn't there, or was it the fact that I was tuning it out? Because the way the RAS works is there's so much noise going on in the world. What it does is it goes ahead and filters out things that you're not focusing on to go ahead and improve your focus. But when you start to think about something the most, it starts to recognize the pattern that, hey, I need to expose this more to you. So it opens up to show you more of what you're thinking of. Now, how does this apply? If they're always thinking about the insurance agent, just think about this. If they're always thinking about the agent that sold them insurance, they're always thinking about you. They're always thinking about the salesperson that closed the deal, because you always maintain a relationship. You're always reaching out to them. Don't you think the RAS will start to show them members of your family that might need insurance? Next thing you start getting texts, hey, I think my sister needs insurance. I think my brother needs insurance. You have to think from a perspective of manifestation. You have to think from a perspective of human psychology. Too many times people sell and don't ever follow up. The transaction does not end because you took their money. That's not when it ends. You maintain a relationship. I always estimate the lifetime value of a customer. Just because somebody pays $247 or $297 with me and RIZN doesn't mean that's the last time they're ever going to spend your money. We maintain a relationship. There's a reason why I could easily just build an onboarding course of videos and just have you watch the videos. Or I could input, when you sign up for RIZN, a dedicated account manager to maintain a relationship with you. Why? Because guess what? We will always be on the top of your mind. We're rolling out new software products, and with each software product, we're training relationship management teams for that. It doesn't matter. I want to make sure that when you're thinking about whatever you do, I'm in there. That's how you have to think as a salesperson. That's how you have to think as a business owner. So go ahead, guys. That's all I got for you. like the video, subscribe to the video, and if you want to go ahead and start generating your own leads, use the CRS software to help you maintain a relationship with your customers. You can basically set up automatic reminders and send them text messages every month automatically. You never have to do it. All AI. Go to RIZNResults.com now /free trial. And I'll see you guys on a future video. And for that, I say enjoy.